Welcome to episode 3 of our Thailand motorbike adventure. Today we'll cover 500 kilometers through the stunning greenery of Kanchanaburi province, stopping at the iconic bridge over the River Kwai. After lunch on a floating restaurant, we push on and finally arrive at the Gulf of Thailand in Cham. Expect more breathtaking landscapes and a few surprises along the way. Let's ride. Last night we found a hidden gem, a remote homestay resort that gave us our own little detached chalet, cosy, comfortable and just the place for a good night's sleep. Perfect for an early start. But nature had other plans. Heavy rain and thunderstorms kept us company all night. Looks like our trusty Sahara seats got another drenching. I've got a feeling we're going to get wet bottoms today. We should have covered them with plastic bags. We'll do that from now on after they dry out again. Trip machine phone case, modular phone case fitted to the tank bag. I am doing this from now on because I've been charging my phone in the pocket and I keep forgetting. So when I get on and off the bike at the petrol station, I yank the cable out of my phone. So now with this being on the tank, I'm not going to do that anymore. And what is recommended is that you clean the back of your tank bag with a microfiber cloth, clean your tank before you put the tank bag on, and then it's just a case of rolling it on because those magnets are very strong. So there we go, I've rolled it on. That's not going anywhere. My phone is secure, my tank bag is secure, and we're going to connect and navigate. And today we're leaving a little bit late, 8 a.m. is that right?
Yes.
And the plan is we're going to make our way to Kanchanaburi to visit the bridge over the River Kwai. And then we're going to make our way to Cham, right on the coast. The Super Meteor 650 is going to see the ocean for the first time. Our remote stay gave us the perfect remote start. Nothing but peaceful country roads for miles and miles, following this beautiful canal. Over 2 hours of pure cruising through some of the most fertile land I've ever seen here in Thailand. Every turn reveals a new shade of green, rice paddies and crops thriving along the way. It's incredible how lush this area is. Days like this remind us of the beauty that's off the main roads, where the pace is slower and the scenery tells the story of rural life here in Thailand. No rush, no traffic, just us, the road and the rhythm of the journey. This is what makes the adventure so rewarding. As we roll into Kanchanaburi, we're met by a herd of cattle. Just yesterday it was a barrel of monkeys. Looks like every day has its own welcoming committee. It's one of those unexpected moments that makes each ride memorable. You never know what or whom you'll cross paths with out here. As we arrived in the town, I couldn't resist pushing my luck. With a few careful maneuvers, I rode my Super Meteor 650 right through the market stalls to get as close as possible to that famous bridge. Totally worth it. Dodging a few stairs and getting that perfect shot made it all part of the adventure.
สวยที่หนึ่งค่ะแล้วก็เป็นข้าวเหนียวที่หนึ่งข้าวเหนียวหนึ่งโค้กสองโค้กขวดเล็กนะค่ะเป็นออริจินอลนะคะ
This is beer salad. Right, Mrs. T, we're now at Kanchanaburi. I would say bridge over the River Kwai, but you're telling me that that's wrong.
River Kwai.
The River Kwai. So it's the same with the Royal Enfield Himalayan. We say Himalayan, in India they say Himalayan. So we get it wrong. Why is that? It's just the way it's spelt by the looks of things. So you were born in 1977, weren't you? That was when one of my favourite films was released. Star Wars. Yeah. And one of my childhood heroes, Sir Alec Guinness, was in Star Wars. And he also starred in the World War II movie Bridge Over the River Kwai. So it's really nice and fitting for me to come here because I am an ex-serviceman, as you know, right? I'm an ex-soldier myself, and it holds dear to my heart what these poor people had to go through, what they had to endure. So the ride down today, much better than yesterday, right?
Yes, it's better.
Because it was a quiet road, peaceful road. So if we carried on road number 1, we would have got here 20 minutes quicker. But it was worth taking that diversion to take 20 minutes longer to have a peaceful, quiet road. I actually enjoyed this morning. I actually enjoyed that ride.
Yeah, I think so.
And it reminded me a little bit like Germany in the fact that it was completely flat, the Rhine area of Germany. And it also reminded me of Canada in the fact that the road was dead straight and then a crossroads that you had to stop. Dead straight and then a crossroads where you need to stop. So I do feel sorry for people that live in Canada if that's all the roads they have, because there was not many corners on that.
It's boring.
It's boring, yeah. But we did have a few little corners, right? It was
Yeah.
quite interesting. And those trucks, well overweight, right? They're packed with rice. So, but yeah, it was a really good ride down this morning. I thoroughly enjoyed the ride this morning, unlike yesterday on road number 1, hell. On my first trip to Bangkok, I went to that road and back. I hated it, absolutely hated it. I nearly broke my back a few times because I didn't have the upgraded suspension. I didn't have the Sahara seats. I was killing myself. Talking about Sahara seats, I know we both had a wet derriere this morning, right? So that's because we made the mistake. It is rainy season. It normally rains in the night, and we left the bike outside in the all night. What we should have done is covered it with plastic. The seats were plastic, and then we wouldn't have had wet behinds this morning, right? But I'm dried off now anyway, and hopefully the seats are dried off in the sun. So yeah, I'm finding my seat is perfect for me. My first trip down, I was a dead behind by now, but it's fine, absolutely fine. How about yourself?
Myself is feeling better also.
Yeah.
It's not feel any hurt or pain.
So remember I asked you the question before, which would you prefer? Oh, I'm wobbling the table. Which would you prefer, the
Touring seat.
touring seat? Because you had dead legs on the back of your legs, right?
Yes.
But now I've altered the backrest and put some gel under the seat to stop the vibrations. How is that?
Fine for me.
Fine.
Nothing hurt.
Nothing hurt?
Yeah.
Not even over those big jolts? Or it does?
No.
Yeah, so the big jolts that we're going over, well, I think we've had 1 or 2, right?
Once.
That's how it felt going over the little bumps before with my old suspension and the old seat. So it's much, much, much better now, a much, much better ride. And for some reason, the bike's riding better with the weight of the saddlebags. We've got 2 hefty weighted saddlebags. We've got our waterproofs and other bits and pieces, which I'll divulge later. So we've got a heavy old bike going on, but it seems to handle very well at the moment. So we've got the last leg to go now. We're going to go from here to Hua Hin, to the ocean. We're going to go and see one of my ex-service buddies. Haven't seen him for quite a few years, right? So we're going to go down and see him and his son. And we've got a maximum of 2 days there before we have to do it all the way back again. Is that okay?
Yeah. But we have to stop to Bangkok too.
Oh yes, we do. I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because we've scooted around Bangkok. That's why we've come to Kanchanaburi also, because you cannot take a motorbike on the expressways in Bangkok, which means from central Bangkok you cannot go over the bridges, over the Chao Phraya River. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Chao Phraya
Chao
River.
Phraya, yeah.
So we can't go over the bridge, but that's the only thing that puts me off going to central Bangkok, is knowing that you can't cross the river and you can't use any expressways, you can't use any tollways, and then it's very confusing. But at least these days we've got the mobile phones to help us navigate. Beforehand, remember when we used to read a map, you got a road on top of the road and you don't know if you're on this road or the road above. You just have no idea, right? You actually have no idea. Okay, Mrs. T, let's get this travel finished. There she is, the bridge over the River Kwai. It's not just a historical landmark, it's still a working railway bridge that plays a crucial role connecting Myanmar to Thailand. And as we leave Kanchanaburi, I do have to mention the Erawan waterfalls, an absolute must visit if you're in the area. We didn't have time to stop today, but we have been there before and really enjoyed it. Imagine crystal clear water flowing through 7 stunning tiers of waterfalls. It's like a little slice of paradise. It's been a long day for us, 500 kilometres covered on the bike, and we made it to Cham on the Gulf of Thailand by early evening. After a quick search, we found a hotel for 1,000 baht and wrapped things up with a quiet dinner before calling it a night. Tomorrow we head to Hua Hin with a stop at the Royal Enfield dealer, where Teacher T becomes an honorary member of a motorcycle club. We hope to see you soon in episode 4. Until then, ride safe.